And we're live. Hello and welcome to the 199th week of Hex Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin. Perfect streak going on our way to 200 plus episodes. But here we are, another Thursday night. Thank you for tuning in. I'm pumped to be back in the studio. The last 2 weeks, I've been on the road with the Hex DeLorean, showing it off to people all over the country. But yeah, really happy to be back with the good lighting and my computer screen in front of me. And tonight's episode, it's going to be a good one. Got a good show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about my predictions for what's going to happen in the near term. The Bank of Japan is about to make a decision here tomorrow, and I think it's really relevant. So we're going to talk about that. But then I'm going to cover lots of Hex and Pulse Chain news because it seems like we're in a critical moment where all of a sudden, what we've been waiting for years is finally looking like it's about to come to fruition. But yeah, so there's going to be lots of good stuff here in this episode. So if you would do me the favor, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, share this out. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a good one tonight. You're in the right place. Welcome to Hex Therapy Live.
It's from Maddie ALLin of Hex Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research, big videos on sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing that a human being could do better than try and heal his fellow man. Maddie ALLin's got that covered. He does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff like as his gig because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like he helps heal people.
All right, so who's this guy behind me hanging out here? Like what is his deal, right? That's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. We call him Jay Powell or Jerome Powell. And basically, he just made a decision that shocked many economists. I think I have on my Twitter page the exact odds that different economists were predicting that what the rate cut would be. And why does that even matter? Why does it matter what the interest rate is? Well, that determines the health of the entire economy going forward. It's the best predictor that we have of like whether we're going to be in good times or bad times with, the economics of the country and the world, basically. And so every so many years, the policy on interest rates gets reversed. And so this is one of those critical points, and it's called the Fed pivot. The Federal Reserve that's the private company that loans the government money. So like the government doesn't really print money themselves. They get it loaned from this like group of bankers, right? And the US monetary policy sets the monetary policy for much of the world because the dollar is used as the reserve currency, and it's the most liquid asset kind of with oil and stuff. So everybody needs dollars and oil. And so that's kind of what the world economy is running on. Zero Hedge reported that 105 out of 114 economists were wrong in expecting a quarter point drop in the interest rate. So the interest rate had gone up to like 5.5%. And now it was cut yesterday, 0.5 percentage point, which is typically only done during very, very bad times. And normally the economy crashes and then goes to new all-time highs especially in that type of a situation. Basically, whenever you get a pivot, usually that's the case. And then especially if you get a 50 basis point or 0.5 percentage change. If we look back on the chart in September of 1984, you had half a basis point cut. You had a 50 basis point cut. Then November 87, you had a 50. In 89, you had a 25. In 1995, you had a 25, a basis point cut. In 98, I think that says 96 or 98, you had a quarter of a point. In 2001, you had a whole percentage point cut. In September of 2007, you had a 50 basis point, and in July of 19, you had 25. Okay, so I correctly predicted very succinctly, I must add, on a Game Theory Gang with Kareem on Tuesday. I thought it was going to be 50 basis points. So that automatically put me in the top 8% of economists, but economists are trash anyway, so whatever. That's not something I'm going to brag about too much. But here's my next prediction, and this is the most important thing. I'm imagining that the Bank of Japan could crash the world economy right on schedule tomorrow with another unanticipated rate hike. There was something called the yen borrow trade that screwed us up like a month or two ago. Time's been flying, when I'm in the DeLorean, driving across the country from Illinois to LA and back. That kind of warps my time a little bit. But as you all will remember, we had a giant crash in the stock market and in crypto in the past month or two, having to do with the Bank of Japan raising from 0 to, I think it was 0.15. And so now tomorrow they're going to end their 2-day meeting and decide. I think they don't make their decision until like 3 p.m., which is, I think, around the time that the U.S. stock market closes. So it'll be really interesting to see like the aftermarket and if anything, if anything happens there. Now, if I'm wrong and they decide to keep their monetary policy the same, then like that's great. We're going up only probably, which I say as an expression, but not financial advice. Let me see. I took some notes here. So Japan raising interest rates is bullish for the yen. Lowering or leaving it the same is bearish. But at the end of the day, because of this carry trade that affects the entire global market, basically the reason why I think that Japan might do a surprise rate hike that would cause turmoil in the rest of the market is, why did the US Fed give us 0.5% anyway? All these economists were wrong. I was looking at, how Elizabeth Warren or some corrupt senator had like sent a letter, which they're not supposed to do, to the Fed chair saying, oh, we need it to be 75 basis points, which is just nuts. All the economists thought it was going to be 25 basis points. Now, for the first time since 2005, there was one Federal Reserve governor who dissented and said it should have been 25 basis points instead of 50 yesterday. And I mean, again, call me crazy, call me, just don't call me late for dinner. Whatever is going to happen tomorrow, we'll see. But I feel like that was kind of a tip of the hat. Like, hey, maybe Japan is going to like wreck everything tomorrow. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. That's a really long history of unanimous rate cuts. And then what you're going to, for the first time in 19 years, you're going to shake it up. All right, well, how long has the Japan carry trade been going? I think at least 20 years. I mean, so they're both on the same strange long schedule. Yeah, so I mean, right now we're not going to know, but this is why I'm really prepared to buy any blood in the streets that happens over the weekend. I really think that there could be an opportunity. If not, I'm already like well positioned. I'm not like selling any of my positions for this. But I'm just, I have some more cash from selling things, selling a car, selling my currency collection, and some other stuff. So like this is one of the best points in the economic cycle to be considering risk assets, because as the Fed continues to as the Fed in the US continues to lower rates, as long as Japan doesn't increase their rates, we should see a giant migration from safe treasury bonds that are paying 5.5% yield. Well, they're not paying that anymore. Once they drop down to 5, and then 4.5, and then 4, and then 3.5 over the coming months and next year, what you'll see is, because people can't get as good of a yield anymore in what's safe, they're going to be pushed into investing in the stock market, AI, robotics, and crypto. And so this is, again, the economic cycle that's being decided by bankers in a back room, lining up to some extent with the 4-year cycle in Bitcoin, in crypto. And, that's something that is really cool. That's a unique opportunity, lifetime opportunity to, take on risk. And for a lot of us, we're risking an amount that will be life-changing, and we're understanding that we can lose it all. It's not a sure thing. But I would love one huge discount before we go up only. And so if Japan wants to give us that, that'd be great. But basically what I think is the most important thing to take home from this is, don't get caught off guard, and don't jeet your bags. Don't sell everything if we get a sharp correction, because typically in the economic cycle, when interest rates get lowered and the Fed pivots, as they just did, as we've been waiting for them to do for years, since 2021, during that moment, then typically the market tries to fake you out, and it goes down a little bit or a lot, and then it goes to new all-time highs. And so that's kind of the mental preparation that I have done since 2021, is Fed pivots, you get a dump, and then up only. And I, know that usually the Fed dump doesn't take you back down to like new all-time lows. And so I was more interested in trying to buy the all-time lows along the way and just hold through the Fed pivot. But now that I'm realizing, that I didn't need that car, I didn't need that currency collection of $100 trillion bills from Zimbabwe that did a 2x in 5 years. Fine, I still have some in the collection, but I just sold like the majority of it. So that's the alpha for what could happen in the near term. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. Let's see if we have any questions concerning that. Maddie's at the White House. Yeah, I wish. But nice background, huh? What's up? Hex King Greenhorn, Future Us, Super Hex, good to see you there. Knox Bill, what's going on? Lazy Hexakin, Hexstatic Guy. Let's see. And J Dub, nice background. Age of Aquarius, I'm newish to crypto, and a friend onboarded me into the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Welcome. I dropped 10K into Pulse, PulseX, and Hex 2 weeks ago, and it's looking great. I hope this was a wise decision. Thanks. Yeah, well, welcome to the party. You definitely got in at a time when, when there was already a lot of pain. The prices were very low. You got a better price than almost anybody in the ecosystem. And so congrats on that. It doesn't mean that we can't go lower, much lower or much higher. But yeah, being able to hold on and all that, congratulations. I've been buying, I've been dollar cost averaging this whole time, and just really thankful that in the past week or two we've seen some huge price movements. We saw Hex go up 50% and then down 25%, and then still up 25% from the lows. Right now we have Pulse Chain at 40413. Pulse X is at 40218, and incentive token is $2.04. Let's call it. And so, Pulse Chain PLS is about a 9x away from its all-time high. Pulse X is probably a 6x away from its all-time high, 6 or 7x, somewhere in there. And both of these had really good runs from January to March, where Pulse Chain did like at least a 5x, Pulse X did maybe a 10x, and Inc. incentive token did a 20x. Yeah, that's right. So, an incentive token is still 5x away from its recent high. The all-time high for incentive is a little bit harder to say because it was like right when the chain was launching. It was $70 for a while and all that. But yeah, very cool. So yeah, the prices have recovered. I think we could still have one more bounce down throughout the stock market and everything because the Fed has done their pivot. However, I would be really happy to be wrong, and I'm not trading this one in terms of risking being left behind, risking having to buy higher. That's not my game. That's like a worst nightmare situation. That would be taking opportunity risk, basically. So, what's up, Tam Tam? Good to see you there. Clintrons, another good person who's in here all the time. El Sizzle, what's up? Ida, good to see you there. Wind Me, good to see you. Okay, what other news do we have? I mean, I don't know. Should I leave the background up with, I'm not really from the Board of Governors, but hey, what can you do? We're talking monetary policy and all kinds of stuff. So in some ways, crypto and Hex and Pulse Chain, they replace the Fed in the sense that you become your own bank. You get to enter into a mathematical monetary system that's free of human intervention in a lot of ways, where the game theory is known and predictable, where you're not playing by the rules that are invented by some group of politicians that keep switching things up. So there you go. We'll keep the background. Thank you very much. There we go. And yeah, so what else do I have here? I was in a really cool spaces this morning. I actually woke up early to be in Buck Fiat's spaces. He talked for about 3 hours on Twitter, and I was able to tune in for much of that. There was a lot of stuff covered. But yeah, it was a pretty good stream. I think there were some parts that I chimed in on. For example, we were talking about basically what was up with RH buying the top of ETH, I was presenting a bunch of conspiracy theories about how, you know, there are a lot of dots that I'm connecting throughout all of crypto. That could be right and wrong, either way. But kind of it starts with so we know that Roger Ver got he got arrested for tax evasion after many years of like them not saying anything about it. Right after he published this book, like this book came out, and then I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks later, he got arrested. And it's my opinion or my guess that like part of the reason he got arrested is because CZ got arrested a few weeks before that, and they probably needed the tax records from Binance in order to do anything about Roger Ver. So I think that's kind of interesting. But you know, one of many factors that may have gone into CZ getting arrested was like him running around the world trying to dodge this coin market cap lawsuit that was launched by Hexicans, but that's another matter. So yeah, so CZ was like he's been locked up, and that his arrest kind of coincided with the bear market. So there was a lot of buying up into when he had to go to court and had to get what he got locked up for what 4 or 5 months, something like that. So he's getting out later this month, or was already switched to house arrest or something. But yeah. So then we found out later, which people were telling me like we've known for a long time, but just how the DAO that's involved with DAI, like Maker, they have been switching it up and rebranding and doing stuff. And so one hypothesis could be that that there was less confidence that DAI was going to not censor people, and so that might have been a reason to buy ETH. And yeah, so I think that's kind of a cool theory. None of us really know for sure. Maybe someday we'll ask, but I don't really know that asking Richard would help, because it's really the sacrifice address doing its thing with its own money. So like whatever, not a big deal. But just kind of a curious thing why the sacrifice address had bought ETH, kind of the local top there, and then also Justin Sun had bought ETH, kind of copy traded and kind of FOMO'd in at the top. And so yeah, I think that there's always kind of different angles to the story and different things to uncover. And then you have like, in my opinion, there are lots of reasons why people could say that the Ethereum Foundation is dumping and Vitalik is selling lately. But in my opinion, it's because the SEC had told them that they couldn't sell for so long. And I had seen some tweets and stuff that said that they had wanted to sell for a long time so that they could pay their staff and do different research projects and invest in different things. And they weren't able to do that because their lawyers were telling them they couldn't. And so the fact that, a month or two ago, the SEC finally said, all right, fine, you guys are not a security, here's your ETF, created a moment where all of a sudden they could sell. And normally we're used to the Ethereum Foundation selling like at the top of a cycle, and then it's down only for 3 or 4 years. But that's a situation where I think this time the signal is getting mixed. And the good news is I really don't think that that the top is in for Ethereum for this cycle. I think next year the price of ETH will be much higher. And but then again, ETH isn't my favorite crypto by far. I really like Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Inc. Even more than ETH. So holding on to ETH, it can be difficult for me because I I would rather be in honestly the yield farms. That's like the best place to be earning ink and just letting time pass. So Yeah, so there were, I mean, there were a number of other topics that were discussed there in the Twitter Spaces. We talked about community and yeah, so I think that there's a powerful effect here, and we've mentioned this a lot of times on this channel, but I'll kind of go into it a little bit more now. Is that staking causes participation on an epic scale, which is resulted in this strangely dedicated community in Hex and Pulse Chain. And when I was trying to spend some ad credits that Twitter had given us for the Hex conference organization account on Twitter, and they gave us $1,000, and it has to be used in like 2 days, and I don't even know that much about how to use it all. So far it's been going good, and I think we'll be able to burn through it by targeting people in real estate, people in finance who are interested in investing in finance, and getting the just getting the handle out there, and getting a simple tweet advertisement out. And then some people have already volunteered to help me develop better ads, like for the following months, because we got like $1,000 a month of free advertising on Twitter for the Hex conference. And one of the first tweets that I wrote as part of like the advertisement of like, what do we want to say about Hex to people who are new, is like, how amazing is it that this smart contract that's been around for 4 years has caused one of the greatest engagements in any crypto community. And so I think that's a cool message to get out. And yeah, so far people have been super pumped about the announcement that we're going to be doing $1,000 per month of ads to increase education and free speech. The tweet was just put out like 5 hours ago and got 301 likes and 42 retweets. So shout out to everybody who's been kind of proving the point here that this community is special. It's people who have staked, that are part of this phenomenon of a smart contract allowing you to pay your future self. You throw your money in the DeLorean, right? And then you get to unlock it later on, or leave some liquid along the way. And so if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the like and retweet and comment on this tweet that I just dropped in the live chat. If you're watching on replay, you can hit the button to look at what was being said in the live chat, and that way you can get access to that link. But yeah, so that's making us look really good. It's making us onboard new people, basically, is the idea there. What's the likely time frame of this bogus SEC thing being resolved? Guesstimation, in your opinion? I think best case scenario, we would hear by the end of the year, or early next year. The Hex conference every year has been January 6th through 9th. So I don't know that the judge is going to care about that or anything, but how cool would it be if we knew by the Hex conference? Last year, we had more speakers than ever. We had over 100 people speaking. And then we did a world record attempt where I had 230 people on screen at the same time, live. Not everybody could talk at once, but yeah, you can go back and see that. We're gonna have some cool stuff planned for this year as well. I'm looking forward. It's about that time when I'm going to start, putting the structure together for all that, as I do every year. And this will be the 5th annual Hex conference coming up here at the beginning of 25, just about 3.5 months away or something. Let's see what's up, Dregs. Warm welcome. Let's see. Catching up. Hex in SB. Future us, 4 likes. Hit the refresh button to see if the likes are going up. But if not, then yeah, everybody get the likes going on YouTube. Normally we get 200. So right now we've got 63 people watching on YouTube live. And then normally we have hundreds, sometimes thousands, usually a couple thousand on the replay. There's no fundamental reason I can see for the cycle completing this year. 25, 26 new year would be my guess. Yeah. This year we're not going to go back into a full bear market by my estimation either. So yeah, let me see what else is on my mind. There was an awesome, like, heated debate between Safety Amoose and Michael Saylor, who are two of the most respected Bitcoiners in the world. And I just, my jaw was dropped the entire time. I'm going to have to clip it and share it with you guys. They were arguing about whether there should be yield in Bitcoin, which shows that they're literally 4.5 years behind Hex and still struggling. So, yeah, I just, it was chef's kiss to the Bitcoiners there. I hope they catch up someday. But Michael Saylor was saying, it's a non-performing asset if you can't lend it to one of the big banks and they give you 5% yield. And Safety is like, no, that's not the purpose of money. The purpose of money is you save it and only use it when you need it, blah, blah, blah. You don't like sign up for counterparty risk. And yeah, so they're both just like having a huge meltdown pretty much near the end of their 2-hour talk, 2.5 hours, somewhere in there. I always listen to everything on 2x, so I have no idea if if it was an hour in or 2 hours in. But yeah, so the community in Hex and Pulse Chain has stuck together through thick and thin. We've been tested more than pretty much any crypto community could be, and I am pleased to announce that we're all still here, and people are, for the most part, people are highly engaged. There's nothing more sticky when it comes to game theory than Hex, and so and that goes back to the staking, goes back to the psychology and the therapy that we talk about a lot. So it's really cool to see, and to now be in the stage of the market sentiment where there is some hope returning. I told you at the beginning of the episode, we might have one more drop if Japan decides to screw everything up tomorrow. But if not, I think we're going to be going way past sack rate and above for these things. And I still think we can get a new all-time high in Hex, just because people underestimate how much people are going to sell on a double. And then not want to sell when it keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. Let's talk bribes. Hey, there we go. What's up, Fast Abdul? Good to see you there. Future Us says 30 likes. Very good. You all smashed the like button, didn't you? Crypto lending to a third party. Genius. Not. Exactly. What's up, Hex Farmer? Yeah, I mean, we see there's a whole list of people who do weekly shows. And I actually put that together in a booklet that I'm putting out with my new product that's going to be launching soon. I actually have a sample of the new product here. This is I think this is the first people are going to see of it, but this is let's see if I can get it in focus here. Well, if I move my camera out of the way, then I can actually see the screen. So this is, anyway, it's a physical crypto coin with a private key built into the back of it. And yeah, it's the easiest way to onboard somebody into crypto. It's it's an incredible tool. I've onboarded 120 family, friends, and acquaintances using this method. You can put crypto on it and then give it to them, or give it to them empty. I onboarded Hawk Tua and another celebrity that I'll wait to announce on a later day. But yeah, I mean, this is an incredible piece of tech, and I know the guys now. I've been their customer for 6 years, but I now I've got a much closer relationship with the people who produce these. They've white label. They've created a special labeling for Pulse Chain that I was able to design, and it's going to come with an instruction booklet that I wrote to help onboard people, and to not just get you into learning how to buy Pulse with your credit card or bridging it in. It'll show you how to get a hardware wallet, and it'll show you all the different YouTube channels that that stream regularly, all the help groups that the paid groups. There's like 6 or 7 of those. There's a huge list of people that stream regularly and people who've been streaming for years. And so I'll have to go back and count, but there's something like 30 or 40 YouTubers that are listed in this booklet. And I'm really excited. And I just told the creators of this that I'm so excited, and the timing is so perfect. We need to get these produced, and the first 1,000 will be available for sale soon. I don't know if it'll be a few more days or a couple weeks as the meme goes, but they've been producing these and working on these for a while. The packaging actually got held up in customs. They print in Europe and then send it to the US. And so there was a holdup that that's pretty much why we're not selling them already. But we have the finished product here. It's a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to start selling these on my channel here. So stay tuned for that. I love the ability to hand somebody a physical coin, and something in their brain triggers of I'm in crypto now. I don't have to die from information overload. That's it. And it really gets people to come back and want to learn more instead of just getting information overload. It also helps people have the aha moment that that digital value can exist in physical form and vice versa. And so, and the packaging is amazing. Like having this 1 ounce copper coin that has the beautiful Pulse Chain logo, and this is made by the same creator of the Bitcoin logo with the circuit boards behind it, like the Bitcoin on a coin with circuit boards behind it. That is the most universal symbol of Bitcoin. He made that back in the early days of Bitcoin. And so there's also some provenance and important history of all crypto in this company that I'm working with, and that is happy to be producing something made especially for Pulse Chain. So that's another thing that is really exciting me. And I think probably starting off, just to simplify the shipping procedures for myself before I maybe decide whether I'm going to outsource that or not. But initially I think I'll handle the shipping, and we'll probably have a minimum order of 2 coins, so that shipping costs can be fast and cheap. And then maybe someday we'll sell them on Amazon as well. I think after the first 1,000 sell out, then we might expand into making many thousands more, because really you can't beat onboarding people by giving them a physical coin and a booklet that teaches them about the amazing community we have here. It is another thing. There's no other cryptocurrency that's going to have this, a physical coin, and an instruction booklet that not only allows you to buy crypto easily, but gets you connected to a group of 40 YouTubers, right? So very, very amazing stuff. I just blocked somebody who was talking smack on Maddie Token, but maybe they had a typo. Maybe they weren't saying chill. Maybe they were saying shill. Probably not. I don't know. Let's go through my tweets and see what other news, because a lot of times there's more to the story than just what gets tweeted, right? So, oh, by the way, Hawk Tua was supposed to meet with President Trump, which is crazy because I onboarded her into Pulse Chain using a physical coin. And here's the tweet to show it. She is not like ready to show Pulse Chain to the world yet, but yeah, it's unfortunate that her interview got canceled because there was a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. But yeah, that's kind of something in the news. Oh, that's me talking right now. Cool. I talked about the ad credits. I talked about the Bank of Japan. Richard's lawyer, one of his 11 plus lawyers who's used to work for the SEC, testified in front of Congress on his own behalf. I actually listened to this before Richard had posted it, because I came across it somewhere on Twitter. There's Mr. Michael Liftick. So that's cool. On October 24th, 100 or 200 hexagons will be going to New York to witness the oral arguments where Richard's lawyers will present the case why the SEC should or why the courts should dismiss the SEC case based on a lack of jurisdiction. Maddie token goes up and down in price a lot. So I tweeted about that yesterday. I said, don't buy Maddie, go yield farm, PulseX and Inc. and hold your own keys, not your keys, not your crypto. Cool. What a great message. How many other founders do you know that tell you not to buy? But then again, I didn't create Maddie token. So it's something you really have to do your own research on if you want to follow the story along. And every once in a while, I do a mega thread where I explain from the beginning and I link everything I've ever said about it. And I give people the next education lesson there. But look at how strong our community is, where a humble yield farmer like myself is getting 333 likes and 39 retweets on a simple post, bull post saying, Hex is going nuts. This was from yesterday. Up 17% on the hour. Up 26% on the daily. Perfect W pattern. Let's go. And that's about the most TA you're ever going to get out of me, is this little W thing that people talk about. So there you go. I was dunking on some like Bitcoin maxis that were thinking that they were dunking on us because they were calling Trump's new DeFi project. It's like a fork of Aave, but it's only open to like institutional investors to buy the governance token, which is non-transferable. He's calling that World Liberty Financial. And there was a couple hour Twitter spaces that I listened to. When was that? Monday, must have been Monday. Yeah. again, been traveling through time in the DeLorean, so not really sure, but it was this week. And so they were discussing how World Liberty Financial is the new Hex. Well, looks like we're living rent free in your mind. And by the way, we had more people watching on Tuesday, Game Theory Gang, just on X than these Bitcoin OGs did. And there was like Simon Dixon was in there, Freddy Krueger, or whoever this guy is. Yeah, so suck it, Bitcoiners. Like try to catch up. Kareem and I were on Game Theory Gang for the majority of the episode, and Crispy Man had done a brilliant check-in at the beginning. So that's definitely an episode to go back and watch it if you missed it. I had seen something that David Feeder posted, like a general update, and I thought it was referencing that PulseChain had found like a bug in ETH that was related to like unstaking your validator, and Ethereum's going to fix it or something. That's kind of funny. I was misinterpreting RH's tweet as like him being humble, which maybe he was, but it was addressing some like fake news article about him paying taxes or not paying taxes or something, which from what I have known, it's like there's public information that Richard does pay taxes. So it seems like a nothing burger. And certainly with the prices going up crazy, the next day or the same day, I don't think many people found it to be a credible issue. Here's another example, going another day back, where one of the I think the largest Solana influencer, Ansem, is replying to Eric Wall, bringing up Hex. Scammed harder than Hex investors. Well, cool story, bro. And then Hex goes up 25 or 50% the next couple of days. Nice. So yeah, like again, I'm highlighting, hey, Hex is living rent free in everyone's minds. And so what happens if we do a new all-time high? People are going to, they're going to freak out. Here's a little video of like the Hex DeLorean setup at the ALLin Summit. When I went to the ALLin Summit, I got to hear Elon Musk speak in person. That was really cool. Peter Thiel. There was a talk by the head of Google, and probably the biggest takeaway of the entire thing, other than I met tons of really cool people that I know I'll stay in contact with and all that good kind of stuff. Elon said everybody's going to have a robot in 5 or 10 years. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. And that's kind of one of the 4 people who are on the ALLin podcast that created the ALLin Summit. He said in his wrap-up talk, the biggest takeaway that I have from this, how crazy personal robotics will become, because everybody was already thinking, all right, AI is a big deal, but just the crazy improvements there for robotics and AI, I think is the next area that Silicon Valley is really going to get interested in. Yeah. So if you're not in the US and you're cranking out shitcoins, maybe you should make a robotics AI crypto. On the weekly, as of September 14th, Inc. was up 25%. Hex was up 50%. Those are rookie numbers, but we haven't seen them for so long. We're in love. Yeah, I was driving back for days from Cali to Illinois with the Hex DeLorean, but I made it, so that's what's up. Now you better recognize that Hex Therapy Live was not missed last week. I uploaded it to YouTube. It said it posted. I uploaded it to Twitter, And then I went back and looked, and I don't see it on YouTube. I have no idea why. I wasn't talking about anything controversial. It was like a 5-minute episode. But anyway, just like for all you people out there that are keeping me honest and making sure that I really do have a perfect streak of 199 weeks, tomorrow is going to be 200 weeks, God willing, knock on wood. So yeah, just remember you can check both places. And I don't know why the YouTube. See, I was in the mountains, only one bar of signal, and I had done the week before I had done Hex Therapy Live. It was showing me that I had a really good video, and so I was like pacing around and like super inspired and did this like 15-minute video that was awesome. Like the whole time I was looking at it and it was in full resolution, and then I go and look, and YouTube put it in like 1 pixel, like the worst resolution ever. And so that made me be like, all right, I'm gonna record it and then post it if it's gonna be like that. I met the guys from Uniswap. I think I already told that story at the conference as well. That was cool. This is a great picture. These are all like super solid people that I met. But we took pictures for probably 300 people who were there, maybe more. And yeah, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Steph's coming out with a new coin. That's kind of cool, or a new protocol. He hasn't really given a lot of secrets away yet or talked about it much, but we're staying tuned for that. He and Funding Jim are both at Token 2049, which is happening in Singapore right now, with I think 20,000 participants who are attending that in crypto. One of the biggest crypto conferences. One of, maybe not the biggest. I think Bitcoin had that many this year. So I think we're all caught up. We're almost at the hour mark. Actually, I'm gonna look at the bookmarks that I have here, because usually I'll bookmark something that I want to come back and talk about. Oh, there was this this really well produced like dramatic movie made by Soda Chronicles that was trying to call out like crypto scandals on Pulse Chain, hackers, scammers, social engineering on Pulse Chain. I'm not sure I have a strong opinion. I'm just like, I've been reading other people's opinions and people have been talking a lot about it. But yeah, I think everybody has the right to like defend themselves, and maybe there were some allegations that went too far, and maybe some things were spot on, but I think people are still kind of letting all that information settle, and that sort of thing. So what else do we have here? Oh, Sami had a post that was asking market cap of to take the OA out of the market cap of Pulse X, which is crazy to me because we had like the biggest Hex and Pulse Chain show blew up when Whales Only quit Quant Gang because of this very issue, except the opposite of that. That like people were mad that Nomics was taking down the market cap of the OA, which like I was in support of. So like I'm kind of thinking of it the same way that Sami is, and he just popped in here. I guess I said his name twice, and so love to see that and love all the content that he's putting out. I just find it like a incredible turning point for the community if there are 150 people who are liking this, and I don't see any like hate. There's no hateful comments at all. There's no controversy about Sami asking market cap of to remove the OA from the PulseX market cap. So that's wild to me. And I'll say it again. It's like there was so much controversy when Nomics, and I guess you could say they were pulling us down from the ranking of being number 3 next to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Hex was the next one on the list. And they basically took the OA supply out, and then that dropped us down to like 20, and then we just kept falling from there. But literally the most popular, successful crypto show that we had in the ecosystem that people watched here on this channel on Tuesday nights, it broke up because of that issue. That I was kind of I had the founder of Nomics on the channel, and Whales Only was opposed to that. And look, we all had like kind of an amicable kind of split, and Whales Only, like, he still comes on the conferences, right? And I think it's just fine that he wanted to do his own thing and everything like that. But man, we had a good run. Him, Kareem, and a lot of times Future Us, about a quarter of the time, we did shows for 6 hours on average. There were a couple times when the show dropped down to 4 hours, and then we did 8 hours the next time, just accidentally, because everybody was so hyped. We saw the price of Hex go from a third of a penny when we started streaming, and a year later, it had gone above 50 cents, above 55 cents, and then a little bit back down. But that was the incredible run in 2020 to 2021. And so, I mean, yeah, it just reminds me of that somewhat, this post that Sami made. Sami here in the comments live says, great to see everyone here. We're all moving forward as a community. Next few weeks, we'll see Richard Hart court date narrative take over, and then perhaps what 2025 potentially brings. Yeah. And as I said earlier in the program, I hope we get that decision from the judge. I guess she has like 3 months to decide it, but the Hex conference is going to be a little bit over 2 months after the court date, so that could be a critical period. I know it was last year. What's up, Abundance Man? What's up, Sandy Beach? Good to see you all. Anita, how's it going there? Good to see you. EMC Crypto, couldn't be happier to be friends with Maddie and Sami. You two have taught me a lot in crypto. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, probably my greatest episode of teaching for not just game theory, but like cryptography. I hope you guys didn't miss that episode that I uploaded to Twitter, because that was, I was breaking down how to make a private key using dice and cards to like really illustrate it. Let me see if I can find it here. It was during my travels. I posted it, not as a replacement for Hex Therapy, but just as an add-on. Yeah, here, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here. In case you want to learn the most possible about cryptography, there it is. From that's the stream I did on January 19th, 2023. Yeah, those Quant Gang shows on Tuesday nights back in the day, those rocked. Those were, again, 6 hour average live stream every Tuesday for a year. Insane. I hope they show back up as we pump again. Absolutely. Well, Kareem's back for sure on Tuesday nights, and that has increased the energy. What's up, Chris? Hex to $1.50. Love it. There you go. So we're right at an hour now, and we've reached all the news and all the alpha for now. We'll see if I'm right. Don't bet the farm on it, but get your DCA money ready in case Japan freaks everybody out tomorrow. If not, hey, love it. We're off to the races. We talked about some other stuff in this stream, including my upcoming product, and you'll hear about it here first on Twitter or YouTube is where we'll be selling the first 1,000 limited edition. They actually have stamped on their first edition crypto key. And so really excited. We just need to get the rest of the packaging printed there in Texas, and then we'll be off to the races. So good stuff. And I'm happy the Fed has pivoted. We've been waiting since 2021 for this. So a beautiful thing. Hit the like and subscribe button now if you don't mind. Really appreciate that. Share this out. Even if you watched on YouTube, you can always hit the retweet and the like button on Twitter. That proves to the world what a strong community we have. For sure. So until next time. Oh, could I do a different outro? I might do a different outro here. Might do one from the Bitcoin. I don't know what's in there, but from the Bitcoin conference 2 years ago. So anyway, until next time, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out. And tune in next week for episode 200.
Hello, I would like to interview you for my YouTube channel. Hello, what is your favorite dog coin? I heard that there are many good dog coins. Thank you for inspiring a generation of cryptocurrencies. I can't thank you enough. It's Matty ALLin, M-A-T-I, ALLin. And I brought my DeLorean here.
You an X guy?
Yeah. No way.
Well, my company, we finally listed X. Yeah.
Oh yeah? Tell me more about.
Famous Bitcoiners there. Got pictures with all of them. That's a dog named Matty ALLin. These bull runs are crazy, people. Get ready.
What's good, Maddie? At a stake in today. Think I'm gonna throw a party for the Hexicans. It's gonna be live. I want you to come over, call everybody, call ATX and them. Tell them to stop through, man. It's gonna be live today. Gonna turn up for you, Maddie. And we're live.
Ayo, Trace, you ready?
And we're live. We're live like Matty ALLin. We're live like Matty ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Matty ALLin. We're live like Matty ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Matty ALLin. We're live like Matty ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Matty ALLin. We're live like Matty ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live.